Are you happy with your life? Are you happy with your job, with your friendships, with your relationships, with the direction your life is going? I'm happy with mine, but not entirely happy, right? There's the golden handcuffs where your job's good, but it's still holding you back. It's good enough you don't have the drive to be better, but it's not so bad that you want to leave it. That you stay because it's not terrible, but it's not great either. I don't want to be in that position. I want to do other things with my life than what I currently do. It's part of why I'm making these videos. It's part of why I'm writing. At some point, I will, when I actually have enough fiction in a particular story to actually have a story and not a snippet or a vignette, I'll probably release stuff. Actually, if I had enough stuff for vignettes, I'd be releasing those. But I'm not there yet. But I'm working towards it. Am I making as much progress as I'd like? No. But I'm working towards it because I'm not overjoyed at where I am in life. Right? It's okay. It's not bad. I don't have too many complaints, but I'm also not super excited for it. And so you have to ask yourself, what is it you want out of life? From the words of Uncle Iroh, who are you and what do you want? You have to be able to answer those questions or you're going to be kind of aimless and you'll wind up in a place that's probably okay. You're getting by, but you're not doing great. You're not excelling. And you, and myself included, may never reach the same success as like Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, any other billionaire, maybe even any other multi-millionaire. But if you put in the effort and you actually strive at something, you should be able to get pretty good and then be successful from that. A lot of success is time and effort in a particular subject for a long period of time, right? Spending your own time, 10 minutes a day, better an hour a day, worst case, a minute a day on something every day for a year, 2 years, 3 years, depends on how much time you put in. And there is, I think, to a lot of these skills, a long-term time component. You're probably not going to become the best at something in a month, but you can get pretty good. And the question then becomes, right, do you want to be the best? But if you're not at that point where you're asking that question, do I actually want to put the time and energy into becoming the absolute best at this one thing? Do I love it enough to do that? You first have to get pretty good. And pretty good, it's a lot more obtainable. If you put an hour a day in, you could probably get pretty good at something in a month or two. Depends on what that thing is, how much technical skill it requires. Are you willing to put in that time and effort? And that's a question you have to ask yourself. And you have to ask yourself it for all the things you're interested in, right? If you like video games and you enjoy playing them, they're a nice pastime. I play video games. I enjoy playing them. I don't want to be a streamer. I don't want to put the time in to become a streamer. I don't have any interest in being that sort of live action entertainment. And maybe that will change. Maybe it will change because it has to change because, hey, I got to try something to get money and I can at least do this while I'm playing games, so it feels like some progress while I'm waiting on hear back on job applications, Maybe it's worth a go in that case. But you have to ask yourself, right? Do you want to do those things? If the answer is no, then you have to figure out what you want to do, right? If you want to draw, but you never sit down and draw, you're never going to get good at it. And every time you do sit down and draw, you're going to hate it because you're not going to be at the skill level that you want to be at, but you never put the time in to get there. So it's then a vicious cycle. But if you want to get good at something, start putting the work in. Just don't go ham on buying all the gear. Don't buy the best of everything, right? If you want to draw, pick up a pencil, piece of paper, try to draw something for like 10 minutes. Pick one thing and try to draw it. And do that every day. And then when you've done that for a little while, then buy the nicer equipment, then buy the nicer pencils, then buy the nicer paper. But until you show that you're going to put the time and effort in, don't waste the money on something that you might discard in a week. Right? If you're not going to sit down and write every day, you're never going to get good at writing. And maybe you put out a book. Maybe it sells 10 copies, which is not bad, to be honest. Maybe you sell tons of copies, right? But you won't know until you do it. You won't know until you actually put the effort in. So figure out what you want and put the effort in. And genuinely put the time and effort in. Don't half-ass it, whole-ass it. Figure out who you are, what you want, and then put in the work to get there. If you want to be better with people, then make that decision and look at every interaction with somebody as a learning experience. If you want to get, again, better at drawing, right, then you got to do it every day. You want to get better at writing, you got to do it every day. You want to get better with people, you got to work on it every day. Right? It can be as simple as saying hello to the cashier and asking them how their day's going. And if they don't say anything else, they just say, give you a one-word answer, you just leave it there. If they give you something else to go off of, you go from there. If you want to draw, right, you practice drawing every day. And then after a while, you start trying to expand what you draw every day. Maybe you pick up a book on how to draw a particular style. Maybe you look up some YouTube videos. You want to paint, same thing. You want to write, same thing, right? Actually put the effort in and genuinely put the effort in and see where you're at, and then look at it and be honest with yourself about where you need to improve, and go from there. So I encourage you to look at your own life, figure out, what do you want out of life? What kind of life do you want? And what do you need to get there? And then do those things. So I wish you the best of luck, and I will see you next week with another video.